Alright guys, so sadly season 13 has come to an end, but before our favorite housewives take to the center stage tonight, I thought we'd take a look at some of the looks they'll be serving us. But before we dive in, hey guys, my name's Caleb. I post luxury and lifestyle related content every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So if that's something you're into, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Consider joining our membership. We have an awesome engaged community, members meetups, extra perks, access, you name it. And today we're gonna dive in and we're gonna look at some of our favorite housewives, which for me is Beverly Hills. Hello, honestly. Beverly Hills for me, this is something that I've been watching literally for 13 years. My husband and I are actually going through and rewatching all of the earlier seasons. So it's kind of fun to see, you know, how like Dorit and Kyle and Sutton's styles have all kind of evolved over the last few years, and tonight's reunion is probably the best as far as looks go, and I am so excited to dive into this with you guys. Now let's start this off with the fabulous Garcelle. Now Garcelle this season, we didn't see a whole lot of a storyline from her. There wasn't a lot of drama. There wasn't a whole lot that she got up to other than sharing her kind of viewpoint from being a mom to two teenage boys, which just in and of itself stressed me out. I feel so bad for her. But for the reunion, she really kicked up the glamour. She served the look, and I am living for it. Now, Garcelle is wearing head-to-toe Dolce & Gabbana. Now, her inspiration this year for the reunion was classic glamour, and she absolutely nailed it. Now, Garcelle looks amazing in these jewel tones, metallics, sequins, you name it. One of my favorite looks that she served us in the past was that Monique Lhuillier sheer gown. Phenomenal, old classic Hollywood beauty. But tonight she is serving us this beautiful bronze moment and we are all living for it. And quite frankly, I'm interested to see, I should say, if she and Dorit continue their conversation that they had earlier in the season. I just want to see how that goes. I'm curious. The next housewife that we're going to talk about is no stranger to serving us the look, serving us the fashion. She's two people, but she's not two-faced, if you all remember. The fabulous, well, depends on who you ask, Erika Jayne. Tonight she's going to be giving us this amazing architectural dress by Balmain with Christian Louboutin shoes, jewelry by 14 Carats. Now in interview, she said that her inspiration for the look that she's giving us is Ultimate Grand Supreme, and okay, she's serving it. I love anything with like a good dramatic over-the-top shoulder pad, which is probably why I enjoy Dynasty so much. So aside from learning about empathy and how to get it, Erika Jayne, she was kind of fun to watch this season. Like it's been a couple seasons since I've really enjoyed watching Erika on the show, and it was just fun to see her in those first initial episodes where she gave up fighting for Lent. I don't care who you ask, but I am 99% certain that those boys on the elevator in the hotel rode that thing up and down until they were able to ambush Sutton. That looked like a setup to me, but it was absolutely hilarious. I'm kind of excited to see this. Maybe she could turn over a new leaf, maybe have a comeback moment. I don't know, we'll see what season 14 brings. As far as looks go, this is pretty on point. This next castmate has received a lot of criticism on their look tonight, and before I even announce them, you already know who it is. This housewife is no stranger again to serving us looks, some hits, some big hits, some huge misses, but tonight Dorit is giving us Schiaparelli. Now the inspiration slash vibe for her look was surrealism monochromatic. Speaking of monochromatic, part of me has to wonder, is she wearing this red Schiaparelli gown as like a nod back to that incredibly awkward Pretty Woman date she had with PK at the Beverly Wilshire? Hopefully, unlike the jewels, this dress is not borrowed. Sorry, save space. This all red number is really giving us what she was hoping to achieve. I kind of like this dress, but I noticed in the sneak peeks that the way that the hood or the wrap over the head affixes to the hair, you can kind of see it like pulling at itself while she's sitting on the sofa. I'm hoping we don't have a wardrobe malfunction or it like rips out of her hair or God forbid rips the dress, because it is absolutely stunning. Now with the red Schiaparelli dress, she's paired Balmain shoes. Now keep that in mind because Schiaparelli and Balmain are both going to be names we're going to hear a lot of tonight, and I think she's serving it. We've got the Bottega Veneta jewels. I don't care who you ask, that little swoop across her forehead, the more I'm looking at these photos, the less I hate it. I'm going to call this one a win for Dorit. She really brought it tonight. Now as far as her storyline goes this season, we didn't really see a whole lot from her. She's still dealing with that PTSD from her house break-in, you know, trying to deal with PK. Hopefully, you know, things for them kind of get back to a more positive space for season 14 if she returns. As far as looks go, I said it for Erika, I'm going to say it for Dorit. She served. It's a win. Next up, this is one of my favorite and quite possibly one of the most thoughtful looks we're going to see tonight. This comes from Crystal. Now, we've gotten to see Crystal kind of grow on the show over the last 3 seasons. She came in really hot with that interaction with Sutton in her first season. Last season, we didn't really see a whole lot from her, sadly, which is so disappointing because I love her kind of wittier take that she has on some of these things. This season, though, she found her voice, and I am 100% here for it. Like season 14 Crystal, we're here for it. We're rooting for it. Like, I would love to see her come back. I don't know about you, but I personally loved those leather pants. I'm just gonna say it. So tonight she's wearing a beautiful dress by Yannick Mikado, shoes by Saint Laurent, and then of course jewels by 14 Karat Jewelry. Now, what I love so much about this dress and this look, according to Crystal, she said, we chose designer Yannick Mikado for his extensive knowledge and appreciation of Chinese culture, as reflected in his work. His vision for me in green and citron is by far one of my favorite looks Dana and I have created. Dana Asher is her fashion stylist, both sophisticated and romantic, which I think that is so cool. It's neat, it's thoughtful, we're here for representation, I love to see it. And she said, additionally, speaking backstage with BravoTV.com, Crystal noted of her custom couture sheath, when you have a dress like that, the rest doesn't matter. It's so spectacular, it is a piece of art, it's pretty special. She added about the look, it's definitely in line with my style, but just elevated and a little bit more glam, which I'm here for Crystal. I'm excited to see her continue to grow on the show. Season 14, Crystal, are we gonna get some more clapbacks? I mean, she did not back down to Annemarie this season, which was nice to see. Crystal, again, I'm gonna say this for every single one just because I love the show so much. This is another win. Now, next up, the fashion couture queen herself, Sutton Stracke. And before we name them, let's look back at her season and see what she brought to the table. Name them. So first of all, we had that interaction, which was amazing. And then for some reason, Annemarie Wiley just had this like strange fascination with Sutton's esophagus. Like, Annemarie, you had your fun, let the mouse go. Or esophagus in this instance, poor Sutton. I like Sutton Stracke, and it has been so neat to see her, again, grow as a person, grow as a castmate. I think when we saw her in season 10, when she was having that interaction with Crystal, I don't think she was in a great place, but I think now, you know, she's got her independence. I just love her voice, by the way. I'm sorry, Sutton. But she has her independence. She's got her clothing store. She's doing things her own way, and I absolutely love that for Sutton. And bravo, if you want to give her and Avi their own show, I am 100% here for it. I think they are so cute, so fun together. And oh my gosh, and then Steve, why did you ghost Sutton? Come on, man. Like, oh, anyway, let's get to the fashion. We're gonna name them. Tonight she's wearing Schiaparelli, which again, super thoughtful. And she also has on Gian Vito Rossi shoes. The reason that she wore Schiaparelli, I thought this was hilarious. For the dramatic sit-down, Sutton chose a Maison Schiaparelli dress, a specific choice, considering the reunion was taking place during Couture Week. For those of you that know, IYKYK, Miss Sutton, she says, I am missing out. In Schiaparelli Open Couture Week, she shared with BravoTV.com backstage. I think it's always such an interesting show. This is a very subtle version of Schiaparelli, and it's got a flower with an eyeball on it because I need a third eye, she hilariously pointed out at the dress's intriguing embellishment detail around the neck. Just like Erika and Dorit, Sutton has her own brand when it comes to style, fashion. I mean, hello, she is on a first name basis with Dolce & Gabbana. I mean, who else wouldn't want to get a crown for their birthday every year? I love what Sutton brings to the table, and it's a very, you know, it's a bit of Southern flair mixed with the European glamour, and we're here for it, Sutton. Keep bringing the fashion. Speaking of poor Sutton and her esophagus, now let's touch on Annemarie Wiley. To this event, she wore Balmain. Again, I said like Schiaparelli, Balmain, two design houses we're going to be seeing a lot of tonight. You know, it doesn't look Balmain at first glance, whereas, you know, Erika has all the trappings of Balmain, the exaggerated shoulders, the golden buttons down the skirt line. This... For how rough her first season was, I will give it to Annemarie Wiley. This dress looks amazing on her. The shoes, Amina Muaddi. We love Amina Muaddi moments. Jewelry is, of course, Jason of Beverly Hills. And tonight, let's see, she just said that she wanted to go for light, fun, and a nice, vibrant pop of color. And I think she nailed it. That's what she was going for. She 100% nailed it. Now, before we talk about my favorite housewife, we have to talk about Kathy Hilton, who is apparently a surprise guest. And I am so excited to see what she has to say. Is she going to mend fences with Kyle a little bit more? Because last year's reunion, that left us off in a very dark place for the sisters. So I'm hoping that this is maybe like a comeback vehicle for Kathy, and she can kind of, you know, turn the boat around a little bit in her relationship with her sister. Now, I love her capelet and the skirt. I'm not quite sure who they're from, but apparently her little handbag is from Oscar de la Renta. Now, something I love about Kathy Hilton, even though she has all that money, she still reuses things from the back of her closet. Now, in, was it season 12 with Diana's Christmas party? So not sad we don't see Diana anymore. She carried that beautiful YSL Muse evening bag, the satin with the crystal embellishments, which is kind of a collector's piece, which was a total flex that she carried it out. But again, really cool that she chose to carry a 14-year-old bag to be on TV and at a Beverly Hills Christmas party. Just, we love to see vintage, especially on TV. Now, next up, and the best of them all, is my favorite housewife, Kyle Richards. This was such a hard season to watch with her. I can't tell you, like, I'm an emotional man. I had my tissues next to my sofa a few episodes. It was so hard to see her going through what she was going through. And the other women on the show, I don't know, like, I think they knew what was going on, but like they kept poking, prodding, and I don't know. But when you sign up and to kind of do these things, like your life is on display and apparently up for public consumption, I guess. Again, my heart goes out to her and her family. Tonight, and she does this year after year after year. I can only think of like one season that I didn't love her reunion look. Season 7, I said what I said, Save Space. And even then, it wasn't like the worst thing anyone's ever worn on the reunion. She still looked amazing. It just, of her looks, it's my least favorite. Oh my God, what was it? Season 11 when she served that amazing 80s neon sheath with the oh my God, no. Kyle knows her style. She knows her aesthetic. And it's so cool to me that we've seen her go from, you know, the smaller house, you know, working, you know, her and her husband hustling to living in the biggest house on the show, and she still doesn't take glam on trips with her. Like, that's pretty down to earth. That's really cool. I love her for it. Tonight, she's going to be wearing a beautiful emerald gown by Victoria Beckham, jewelry by Natalia Mehta, and oh my God, Kyle knows her color wheel. Like, she looks amazing in these rich shades of emerald and green. I mean, hello, was it season 1 or 2 when she had those amazing big emerald earrings? Now, this was a huge growth year for Kyle, and it was both fun to see and both hard to watch. She lost her friend. She started making better life choices as far as drinking and her health and working out, and she's very clear. She knows what she wants, and she's done putting up with the BS. I am 100% rooting for her, and I hope you come back for season 14. But anyway, guys, that is all we have. I'm ready to go and watch this now because I have been chomping at the bit all week. I'm ready to see some drama, hopefully some mended fences, and what's season 14 gonna bring? I don't know. We're gonna have to stay tuned. Until then, guys, stay safe, have fun. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.